having this, the Yasuo come through, you know, it's a surprise here for KDF. They looks like they want to try and pick some early pressure and some early aggression. I'm looking forward to see how that one plays out, especially when you have Cold and Feet on the opposite side.
And I want to flag the quick switch they did at the very end of the draft there. Cold and Feet gets the Aurelia because they want to give Renekton to Noelle. That's a response to seeing the Akali. Renekton very deadly in the opening levels of lane, very good at surviving against the Akali. It's a really solid pick for that matchup. And I'm going to flag that top side of the map, as we talked about coming into this game, as the Desk talked about as the most important thing here. How does Cold and Feet play? Is Cold and Feet able to get down onto that Yasuo early, shut them down? Is Cold and Feet able to boost Noelle out ahead and shut down the top side of the map? That's BRU's path to victory.
And see, that's kind of the point that I wanted to try and bring up earlier. The Des has mentioned it before as well, but Cold and Feet was previously a marksman player, moved over into the jungle role for the past couple of splits now. We need to see his performance coming into this, how he stacks up against his opponents as we go into game number 1 between KDF and BRU.
Man, Grandin, I'm excited to watch some good Wild Rift.
Yeah.
This could be a very, very good
This
game.
is already a very good start to the match, TJ.
These drafts just, I have hope, I have delight.
Triple V's down to down to like 40% HP. He's going back to base. He's going to miss a little bit of EXP in the bot side.
He's playing Varus though, he'll be fine.
Sure.
The early levels, I think, in the bottom side are the most exciting this is going to get. There's going to be a little bit of poke out from Acrobat and Noth. Archony. Wow!
Doing a very good job here, Cheru. Managing to punish Archony. We have mentioned this, the idea that Singed has been played in the mid lane more as of late. But of course, we've seen a lot from Noelle as well, so could have gone either way. Looks like they will want to try and just bring the Singed into the mid side.
So, I want to talk a little bit about the kind of dreams of these compositions. For KDF, they have so much late-game assassin damage that the biggest kind of scare for them is if they get put behind early and can't keep up.
As some trades happen across from both sides, just trying to...
It'll take a moment, but I think we're getting it sorted. There's no question as to what the issue is or anything. Look at that!
Wow!
That's me! I did that!
All you had to say was we're switching out the equipment, we're back.
Give me a thank you, TJ, in the chat.
As we go back into game, a couple of things that we want to watch out for. Let's go back and hit those points again. In case you've forgotten, it's going to be that top side, the Noelle-Maru matchup. It's going to be between the jungler, between Zeki and Cold and Feet, and we already have to start to see Cheru moving in to start dealing damage against the Aurelia, maybe pull away the Scuttlecraft.
And so much of this early game is going to be pretty quiet. Here's your exciting bottom lane.
Well, I'm not sure if this is how exciting this is supposed to be. It's quite a scrappy fight. A couple of spells used, but it's on the other side of the map that we see First Blood happen for Maru.
And that is disastrous. Noelle counterpicked the Renekton into that matchup. The dream was being able to beat Maru at their own game. He dies in the top lane, simultaneous to VVV being forced to reset for the second time in lane.
Yeah, Triple V's having a tough time here in the bot side.
And I said that kind of the dream here for BRU is they're able to make a dent during laning phase, slow down those assassin carries. Grandin, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much slowing down is happening?
This is pretty slow. We've got road bumps, we've got speed strips, and slow down. On the mid side, a nice pickup here onto Archony.
Another pickup for KDF as this is becoming just dangerous for BRU.
They need to try and trade back. Dominus popped here, but Maru still has some flawless execution, so
Cold and Feet, I guess it all comes down to you.
Here was the kill. Cold and Feet actually went for the recall right on time, and Noelle drops to the Ignite in the end.
And Cold and Feet, if he hangs around there for a moment, might be able to save his ally, might be able to get revenge.
And of course, a look back in the mid lane as well. I mean, just doing all the work for himself. Cheru gets the knockup and the ultimate onto Archony. In the bot side, a double kill. What do we miss here, TJ?
What the Jess and VVV, I guess, stepping up.
But a big problem here for Noelle as Maru's starting to ramp up. Were you asking me about the assassins on KDF speeding up or slowing down? Was that what you were asking me about?
Yeah, and they're speeding up.
Okay. No, okay. So BRU, they're on some bad terrain right now. All right, but it's all smooth sailing for KDF until that bot side happened.
Yeah, 1 kill got passed over to Cold and Feet, 1 kill on What the Jets. It looks like we'll get a look at what happens here now.
Right, Golden Feet gets walked down towards the bottom side. They have the Vanguard's edge, that just makes things easier. Of course, you can always rely on Jess for the death sentence to land. And the final wall attack to pick up the second kill.
Good to see Golden Feet stepping into lane. Kind of too little too late, I'm afraid, for BRU to make a dent in the hard carries. Acrobat going to be fine to just leave lane, play passive in the fights. That's his goal. They need to get something onto Choir during this early phase. That's why you see this full rotate.
Yeah, Cheryl is going to have to back away, but that leaves Triple V alone and exposed in the bottom side here with Maru coming in with the shuriken flip. Flash away and exhaust immediately used by Triple V.
VVV walking all the way back behind his second turret. Miles away. This will mean that KDF get to good hook, start the fight well. Yep, it's possible.
KDF start to walk away.
But Lee Sin's so scary right now.
Back in the brush waiting. He gets a good amount of damage on the thresh. A very nice intercept coming through. Triple V manages to get the chain of corruption. Death sentence comes across.
Zeki's gone!
And the final attack to get the kill. That's Zeki down.
And Golden Feet keeps pushing here.
Golden Feet just wants to dive down on the turret, but he's tagged up, taking damage, pulled back by the feathers.
That's a huge kill for BRU. They managed to burn through the jungler, which of course means that KDF aren't going to get that Rift Herald they were positioning for. KDF are going to have to reset. BRU will get their own chance to cycle in and out.
Not so easy here for KDF to pick up the objectives.
I think KDF have just started it again. There's no vision here, but they will see Acrobat going up to it, so BRU know what's up. Here they come.
They have the Scuttle Crab on top of the shrine, so BRU start to walk in again, looking for the re-engage entry back on for the fight. Getting knocked back, Archie does not find his entry and go in. Spike comes through, Zeki still gets a Rift Herald, but he goes down in the process. Now they're looking for the second kill. Archie takes a lot of damage quickly. Ignite comes across from Maru, but BRU managed to walk away.
Only Zeki dead. KDF still okay with that. Zeki, the early game presence.
An interesting choice here by Cheryl. He's going to get tagged out by what the Jess. A beautiful chain of corruption out from Triple V to take down the Yasuo and now onto Dragon.
And this is huge now that they've killed the Yasuo. Chera, a massive part of KDF's late game. BRU could turn immediately down and take the Dragon.
They get to pick up the Dragon to get to walk to the bot side, looking for that second turret.
And I think that undoes everything that had been skewing against them. The gold lead now in BRU's pocket off of that cross-map play through the top lane and a series of good team fights in the middle of the map. Here's the Rift Herald summon as KDF try to get some control back.
I mean, it is the Varus. He might be safe, but there's only so much he can get done against 3 members and the Rift Herald in the mid side. But team will trade.
When what the Jets came to this team, then they needed a sub because the regular Dragon Laner couldn't come. Bring in one of his old teammates, and you can see the practice. VVV, a huge part of those team fights, landing all his arrows, playing very well.
I will put this out again, though. Noel in a difficult spot. We can start to see the impact of losing lane early.
Yeah, and he's just trying to get away with stuff he can't get away with. So aggressive there, out of position in the river. There's no way for there's no reason any top laner should be positioned like that.
Oh my goodness, again, almost takes down Maru, gets the death sentence initially, but not able to get the follow-up crowd control.
Top turret does fall during that time. KDF grabbing the bottom turret. And this kind of pressure from what the Jess is coming out as we expected. He's being the leading edge of this team. You can see him harassing Zeki in the jungle. Oh. And all of this just makes it harder for KDF to play their scaling game, and it gives BRU opportunities to take fights. One thing I'm worried about, though, KDF still very supportive role. He's playing the side lanes, he's getting clear.
Oh my, flash in from what the Jets gets the Ignite down as well, finds the catch onto Nov. Maybe a hunt onto Zeki, but it's going to be difficult chasing after the Lee Sin.
What an incredible play from what the Jets, and they're still hunting.
Really want to find a pickup over on the Lee Sin, but he manages to dash away this time around. The Flowers Duet does not tag him either, but still pressure out from BRU.
And VVV, a huge part of that. Look again at how well coordinated he is with this team, hovering in the middle of the map, stopping the resets with his piercing arrows, which are now going to start doing serious damage. His Muramana is about to complete as we head into this next series of objective fights. VVV will be a threat, and BRU need to protect him and set up for those big combo plays. Land a hook onto somebody, stun them for a year, get the kill.
And Triple V, despite the rough start to the game, is now reaching that power point like you've mentioned. And so as they start to fight around the Rift Herald again, something to watch out for.
It's Rift Herald controlled by KDF.
Likely cleaned by them as well.
Archini on a long flank and waiting to see if he does something. He just resets, they'll give it.
A little too far, a little too long.
Yeah, too much flank.
The sides is not worth it.
We do have Hullbreaker and Noel trying to subsidize his disastrous early game, and it's gone pretty well. You can see the gold difference skewing back towards his team, but also him as a player. Noel has just been sitting in the side lanes farming up.
An interesting position here from Archie now, trying to fight the 2 versus 1.
He
Gets
doesn't get
tagged
out
here,
of
final
this.
chapter comes across, but a flash away from
Wow.
Archie. Still keeps him safe for now.
Really good flash. That's very dangerous, and he's able to flash out of the final chapter, making sure that the slows don't land with the perfect timing to escape.
But the resummoner is
Which
burnt
is
on the side
shorter
of
range than
KDF to look.
VVV, but if they can position him well, he can win them a team fight.
He's far away, and it's going to be difficult to get into the fight, especially with Jess there, but the death sentence was used a little earlier. Dominance coming in from the well as well, but they do not have the entry into the fight. Anthony is going to be the one to look for it, but forced away for now. The well finally gets to come in as Acrobat jumps in, finds the damage that they need. He's going to continue making good work on the Golden Feet. A second pickup kill, but Zaki goes down and trade back onto Chiru in the mid lane. BRU want to fight back, but it's an equal trade across the board.
What a team fight. Both junglers killed. That means this Mountain Drake is just going to be vibing for a moment longer, granted.
And that's what happens when Acrobat's able to put out damage. We saw him fight in the choke point into this jungle. He got some good damage down.
One
BRU
more
forced
piercing
away.
arrow.
They just
You
need
to
one
be
more
so
piercing
careful.
arrow from Triple V. Goes wide in between both targets though.
This piercing arrow is starting to hurt eventually, but it took yet more time. It bought yet more space for KDF to scale.
Trying to isolate Cheru here
This
as
is
they
big.
make their way down to the bottom side. The flame will
He's
not
gone.
manage to land for now, but Noel eventually claims the kill credit for that one. His patience pays off.
That's it, buddy. That's kind of the opposite of everything we were just talking about. Sarah needs to be the carrot.
Well, I mean, if I was Cheru here,
Okay.
I would take psychic damage from that. I was by that brush for a very long time,
It was waiting for me.
and
But
Noel
also,
just sat there waiting
That's
for it.
it. You need to know that. You are the carrot.
And here we have it, trying to force an engage over on the Acrobat, but Ashley's being slowed down by the Feathers as pulled back. He takes damage out
Wow.
from Zeki. They take down the mid-side
Double
target. The
kick.
shield coming through from Jess to try and keep him alive. But here we have the flank from Maru. He goes into the
Maru!
shroud. Golden Feet left
Maru!
alone, and a triple coming out for KDF.
And Maru picks up 2 of them. A clean flank. Weaves through the back of the fight as Zeki starts. And KDF present alternative carries and instantly turn onto this Baron.
Baron started up. They have the damage to try and pick this one up. Jess the only one still here. Teleport coming up from Golden
Stalling.
Feet. But a response coming through from KDF as they teleport into the pit as
Into
well.
the pit? What the Jess? What are you doing?
He's going into the pit right now. Noel's coming in. They need to try and fight for this. How is Jess left alone for so long? The ignite onto Jess,
Oh!
but he gets the kill onto Maru. Noel starts to walk in, does not have the dominance, but Baron's been reset and is still alive at this point. One more
Noel!
second on Conan Feet. The teleports need to come in now.
TPs!
Buying time in with the teleports into the back of the pit, into the side of the pit, but they get in, and the Vanguard's Edge finds them that first kill. The second comes in,
Archie!
and now it's Acrobat going down in a prime gaming ace and a triple kill out for BRU.
Golden Feet TP's in the fight after what the Jazz stalls it out for so long. And they find a triple kill. Arseny soaking the entire team fight in damage. KDF wiped for 20 seconds. That could be game number 1. I don't know if the waves are in position, but they're going to be able to take an inhibitor turret.
An express path for the bot side, but they split up the attention to the mid lane
Maru's
and
back.
the bot lane.
Maru's back. He needs to save the team for 10 seconds.
Fortification will be up, so it's going to be difficult to finish off the game here, but 2 inhibitors nonetheless.
Bury run
Towards
back off,
Jess
take
now,
the
if
2
he's
in
able to
hit.
get that pick up onto Knopf, which he does not. Could have
Just-
been a very strong fight starter.
Does Noel stay the course, or does he start wandering over? So far, he's sticking up there in that top lane, which could be disastrous. If he's not here with this fight when it starts, KDF will have a man advantage. KDF can easily win a 4v5. But if Buriram can keep stalling out, eventually someone is going to have to go up and deal with Noel. And then Buriram are thriving. They can easily start this Elder, and that is exactly what's happening.
Golden Feet's working on the Elder slowly but surely, but he decided to back away as they now find a fight over by the Raptor Pit. Golden gonna buy a little bit of time for Triple V as Acrobat starts to dive in. Noel coming in for the flank though. They take him down Acrobat, and that's the team fight damage gone.
That's Noel sliding in from the side lane with perfect timing as ever. The Thai top lane prodigy finds a kill and now stalls out.
And of course, he's going to be able to act as that wall, preventing KDF from coming in.
Dragon's range burned. Zeki doesn't have an easy way to clear the pit. This steal is going to be so hard, and he does need to steal it if there's any hope for KDF.
The defensive line out here, Arshini and Noel stopping KDF from getting close to the Dragon Pit. They will not allow themselves the
Half
safe
HP.
position. Cheru starts to move in. They're looking for a pickup here onto Archony, but we have the Dark Passage coming through from Jess to keep them up. Vanguard's Edge
Archony
over
dead.
onto the back, and even with the final chapter, it only stalls BRU, and a double nonetheless.
Yeah, Zeki's dead. This should mean the Elder's easy. Chera's still hovering in the mid lane, trying to clear the wave.
As you should, as you have to.
TPs.
Cheru comes in here, but he's only got the knock up onto
Acrobat.
Jess. You might find the Thresh, but that's not much more. Teleports start to come into play. Noel's walking in, dodges away from the Shuriken flip, but the Dragon's still
reset!
here.
Dragon reset! It's gonna go all the way reset. BRU stepped too far out. It's gonna take them so much longer. There's Zeki still not on the board, but here comes KDF reset from their base.
It's still over on Vision. Acrobat still has his ultimate up, mind you, so he gets to move away. But not if he gets one shot like that. Over to the back, they try to dive in, but Cheru's gone as well. And you still see Maru trying to cut and trying to buy some time, but the Dragon's gone down and the minions are in the base.
Zeki's gonna respawn, so at the very least, this is gonna be the end of the game by the minions. But here comes BRU. They won the fight around the Elder like 3 times, and it looks like they'll have game number 1 as the stat boost from that Elder Infernal is so massive.
So that's an interesting question here, TJ, in data entry.
Sure.
Does that
They
count as
deliver
3 fights around? BRU in a very strong position to win the game at this point. 2 Dragons and the Elder now in their pockets. They get to try and pressure out the mid side. The only turret still up is the top side turret. Archony comes in to pull Zeki back. Cheru trying to stop them with the wind wall, but you can just see Jess running in so quickly now. He has a dead man's plate, and we start off with the death sentence to catch on the Cheru. The Yasuo goes down. Noel bring in the wave as well. Flashes forward looking for a target to pick up, but the Nexus is there, been exposed. So BRU pick up game number 1.
What a win for